Mediocre Sim Racer here, and welcome back to another episode of From Sim to the Trackside, the series where we bring the worlds of sim racing and real-world racing together. This week we got plenty to cover. First, we're going to start off by tackling the sim racing world before shifting gears and previewing this weekend's biggest events in NASCAR, Formula 1, and IndyCar. We're also going to check out what's happening in endurance racing and highlight the championship battles you should be watching. So whether you're getting ready to jump in a race yourself or you're settling in to watch the pros battle it out this weekend, let's get you caught up before that green flag drops. One of the biggest stories in the sim racing community this week isn't about a car, isn't about a track. It's about the cost of getting on the track in the first place. iRacing has announced a subscription price increase, and as you might expect, it has definitely sparked a lot of discussion throughout the community. For many drivers, iRacing has long been considered the gold standard for online racing, thanks to its structured matchmaking, safety rating system, laser scan tracks, and frequent updates. With that quality, as you know, comes at a price. Beyond the monthly or annual subscription, many of the cars and tracks need to be purchased separately. Once you factor in the hardware like a wheel, pedals, PC, or console, whichever you use, sim racing can become a very expensive hobby, which I know all too well. That said, there are plenty of racers who still feel the values there. The subscription helps fund regular content updates, server infrastructure, official series, special events they run, that being like the 24 Hours Spa that just happened last weekend, and often ongoing improvements with the sim, and I would assume the new graphics engine they are currently building. So I guess the question really isn't whether iRacing is cheap. I mean, it isn't, but the real question is whether the experience still justifies the cost. Some racers, I would say myself, definitely would say absolutely. Others, reading a lot of stuff on Reddit, different forums, definitely going to say I think the price is starting to push players away. Definitely would love to hear what you guys have to say. Any opinions on this matter? Let me know. For you, is iRacing still worth price the admission, or is your favorite hobby starting to become a little too expensive? Another announcement iRacing dropped this week. The IndyCar game they've been developing for a little bit now has been unfortunately delayed until the early part of 2027. The upside, if developers are going to have a little bit more time to work on this, it's been confirmed they're going to use iRacing's physics expertise while making the game. Hopefully making it a little bit less arcadey, more kind of a simulator itself. They also did drop the first couple official screenshots of the game as well, so a delay is disappointing, but it means they're getting the physics right. Pretty sure most racing fans will be okay with that, waiting a little bit longer. No big events planned for this weekend for iRacing. Last weekend they had their 24-hour race at Spa, which will be hosting the F1 race this weekend. Let's get into that. For the F1 race this weekend, we're at the Belgian GP at the circuit Spa. 4.3 miles, the longest circuit on the F1 calendar, 44 laps. One of the fewest circuits where weather can completely be different from one sector to the next. Race start time is set for 9 a.m. Eastern. Qualifying is in place. Kimi Antonelli with the pole position. Max Verstappen right behind him, P2. Lando Norris was P3, but unfortunately, he is going to serve a 10-place grid penalty for exceeding his battery allocation. So, he's got some work to do. Definitely think with the pace he has, he can recover a little bit. We'll see how he does, but I think the main battle is going to be between Antonelli and Verstappen there. Definitely think it's going to be an interesting race. Championship standings currently, Antonelli still up top, Russell number 2, followed by Hamilton, Piastri, and Verstappen. With this being his 6th pole of the season, Antonelli is rapidly becoming a benchmark for Formula 1, extends his momentum heading into one of the toughest races on the calendar. It's going to be lined up right beside Max Verstappen. Traditionally excels at Spa, and he's definitely going to be looking to capitalize if Mercedes falters on the start or go heading into turn 1. And as I said, Norris serving that penalty. McLaren's got some work to do. He's definitely got the pace for the front row, but that penalty dropped him back to the midfield with Piastri, who's qualified 7th. McLaren's definitely facing an uphill battle. Spa, it's definitely known for unpredictable weather. A dry start can definitely become a wet finish, just a few laps, making tire strategy one of the biggest deciding factors. I mean, qualifying only tells half the story here between the weather, long straights, multiple grid penalties this weekend. Sunday's race is almost guaranteed to look very different by the time that checkered flag drops. We are leaving Belgium and heading to Nashville at the Nashville Superspeedway for an IndyCar race. Start time 5:30 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. The Porchetta Bourbon Music City Grand Prix is a 1.3-mile concrete oval. Usually has high tire degradation, multiple racing grooves, and restarts are pretty chaotic. Alex Blue still leading the championship, but his advantage has definitely shrunk. With Kyle Kirkwood coming up on him, Pato Ward, Scott Dixon, and Colton Herta closing out the top 5 there for the championship standings. Nashville could become a major turning point in the title fight. The fuel strategy off and decides this race. Don't be surprised if the winner isn't leading with 10 laps to go. Last stop for the events this weekend is the NASCAR Cup Series with the Window World 450. Track is North Wilkesboro Speedway. Start time will be around 7 p.m. Eastern for this 0.6-mile historic short track. 1996 was the first points-paying Cup race. This track sports tight racing, very limited passing opportunities, tire management is always a thing to be concerned about, and patience is going to be critical. Denny Hamlin continues to lead the regular season championship with Tyler Reddick, Ryan Blaney, Ty Gibbs, and Chase Elliott right behind him. Speaking of Ryan Blaney, he enters the weekend fresh off his Atlanta victory. North Wilkesboro rewards drivers who can conserve tires over long green flag runs. You know, this race definitely isn't won over the first lap. You know, you got 450 to run. Drivers who stay patient. North Wilkesboro rewards drivers who can conserve tires over long green flag runs. This race definitely is not going to be won in the first lap. You know, it's 450 laps. Drivers who stay patient early usually got something left when it matters the most. And that is definitely going to help, especially with going into the 4th round of NASCAR's in-season challenge this weekend. So just a quick recap for this weekend. What's on deck? We got Formula 1 kicking it off for the Belgian Grand Prix at Spa. Start time 9 a.m. Next up, we got the IndyCar Series, Porchetta Bourbon Music City Grand Prix, the Nashville Superspeedway, Sunday 5:30 p.m. Eastern. And finally, we got the NASCAR Cup Series, Window World 450 at North Wilkesboro Speedway, Sunday at 7 p.m. And with ISMA and the WEC Series taking off this weekend, that is about all you need to know before that green flag drops this weekend. From the latest headlines in sim racing to the biggest races on the real world calendar, there's no shortage of action this weekend. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and ring a bell so you don't miss the future episodes from Sim to the Trackside. Until next time, whether you're behind the wheel, behind the screen, enjoy racing this weekend. Catch you guys down the road.
Mediocre.